YouTube.com/BSLR Live.
Yes.
We have footage from most of our shows.
Yes.
We are still adding some from earlier this season.
Yes.
But they can look in. We have an entire, what's it called?
The playlist.
Playlist. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. We have a playlist for all of season 3, all of our season 3 videos, and all of our season 4 videos that are up now. You can access those and post them.
And you can
like
also
them, subscribe.
And you can also check out some of the behind the scenes tomfoolery.
Yes, oh my goodness. Like our trip to Baltimore for the Drew Hill concert.
Oh yeah, because we do have some behind the scenes footage riding up there and everything else.
Yes,
and also
shout out to Alvin Wells, the promoter of that show.
And shout out to all the male groupies that we got on a couple of weeks ago. We hate male groupies with a passion. So tonight we're gonna talk about, in our first Love and Sex, we're talking about exes, right? And in this discussion about exes, we want to talk about comparing your ex to your next. All right, so check this out. When you talk about it when you're dealing with your exes, I think that's a major thing because a lot of us, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously, we talk or we compare who we're currently dating with someone that we used to date.
I think we all do it to a certain extent.
Now, my first question is, and out of all of this is, why do we do it?
Because I think that you're trying to figure out, do they have the qualities that I liked in this person? And do they not have the qualities that I didn't like? I think it's just a way to kind of filter through and see if you're just jumping into another relationship that's going to be the same as the last.
Now, can I play devil's advocate for a second?
That's what you do best.
So, understand that as a guy, as a dude, it's really difficult for us as men to deal with the fact that you are constantly comparing.
It's not constantly. It's early on.
And early on. Okay, let's say early on.
Like, okay, I like that. Oh, that reminds me of my ex, and I really don't like that. Let me see if I can get past that.
But because two people are not the same, but because no two people are the same, my biggest question, and this is the thing that we all, because you know what do I always talk about? I always talk about BBWs. The bitter black women. The bitter black women, if you do not know what a bitter black woman is, I talk about this almost every other week.
It's a woman scorned.
It's a woman scorned. Right. And what she does is she takes everything that she's gone through bad in her life, and she compares it, or she actually thinks about it in the course of this new guy. So this new guy has to consistently prove to her that he is not what she's gone through.
That's with the bitter black woman, but every woman isn't like that. And don't act like y'all don't do that either.
Well,
because you know that men do that too.
Well, I think the thing is with us as men, though, is that some women do not understand that it's very difficult for a man to let his guard down completely. And when we finally do let our guard down completely, so the thing is that when we're giving our all, we've taken down all of our past, and we're taking down all of everything that we're going through. We're taking down everything and just literally giving our hearts to you. And for a man, it's a difficult thing to do. Women are emotional creatures. We've talked about that so many times. Women are emotional creatures, so it's a lot easier for them to give away their heart. Not give away, but to open up their heart. Men, we don't do that. That's not how we're built to do.
Some women will pick out something that totally does not remind them of the ex from the bad relationship. And they'll focus on that. And then they get into it, and they're like, I'm doing the same damn thing. This dude is just like him. How did I miss the sign?
So remember we talked a long time ago about vesting with people too soon.
Right.
So like when you
moving in together.
Right, moving in together, getting cards and all the cards and all that.
Co-signing.
Right. When you do that too quickly, you end up putting yourself in a position where you don't know if this person can handle the issues that may come up.
Right.
So before you move in with someone, it's great to have that conversation to say, okay, look, if something breaks down, how are we gonna fix it? Do I need women?
Do I need to fix it myself? Can you fix it? Do we need to call somebody?
Or do we need to set up a budget? Or do we need to set up a bill or like some kind of account that strictly goes to maintaining the upkeep of the house?
Right.
Not bills, because you don't want to get those confused. But you want to have, if the man or the woman that you're dealing with is not mechanically inclined, and I would love to deal with a handy woman. If I knew a sexy woman who could put on a tool belt, heck yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Or certain women who have been used to dating a man who has been in a certain lifestyle or has had a certain financial situation and has been able to take care of them via financially. Now that they're broken up and now that they're single and the guy that they're dating is not in that same financial situation.
And why, if that's a must for you, then you're not supposed to be dating that person.
But see, that's the thing. How many women actually, we talked about this last week, women don't want to have a perception of being something that they're not, but something that they're used to is completely different. How about that? That's knowledge. That's knowledge. It's the truth though. It is so much the truth. What you're used to is completely different than what you want. And if you're used to a man that's, go ahead.
If you want something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done.
Right.
That's why they're used to it, because they keep doing the same things and falling into that same pattern.
Right. I actually pulled this article for WebMD. This is funny. It's called How to Tell If Your Lover is Hung Up on a Former Flame. Okay, so these are 10 traits that you can actually look at in the person that you're dating to see if they're still hung up on their past or their past lover. The first one is talking about their ex too much.
You don't do that. We don't do that. I think it's okay early on, like when you're first meeting, because you always want to get a little glimpse of what the last relationship was like.
Right.
So that you can kind of figure out where that person is emotionally, mentally, you know, are they stable? You know, are they damaged goods? You know, all that type of stuff.
See, that's the thing though.
But you don't want to know, I don't think you want to know too much, but just enough where, But I think everybody says so about the last relationship.
So let me ask you this. What are some of the things that you want to know about the person's ex? That, you know, if you're talking to, was she crazy? Say it again. She said the same thing.
Was she crazy? Was she crazy? Because the thing is that if she was the type that you came home and your bunny was on the stove, then that means that she's not over you, and she's gonna be coming after you scratching up my car.
Right. Trademark that. Trademark that. Upgraders. You know, the song was Upgrade You, but we're trademarking the phrase upgraders. Because an upgrader is a woman who is actually dating a man who's in a worse situation than she is, or the men that she's dating, and tries to groom him, mold him,
give him a certain status.
Exactly. Puts him in positions where he can be successful. But see, she always finds herself hurt because she's put every dude that she's dating, she's put them into a better situation.
So he's more appealing to other women. He's like, oh, well, I don't need you anymore. I got what I needed. You know, I'm this, I'm that.
Right, the levels are different.
The levels are different now. Right. Sometimes you may upgrade him to the point where he's above where you were in the first place.
Now, for our listeners who hear us, we know we talk a lot about being. We always
upgrade me.
We always talk about. I mean, because you know one of the biggest phrases that pisses me off when it comes to dating. I'm not talking about biblically, but I'm talking about dating. The phrase when you say a man and woman has to be equally yoked. That pisses me off when women use it in everyday life.
They use it as far as status instead of
that is such total BS. Because and like I said, we don't want to confuse the upgraders or Captain Save-A-Ho with being equally yoked. Right. I think being equally yoked is a situation where you're mentally on the same page.
Spiritually, emotionally, all of that.
Right. You may not be the same situation either financially or circumstantially, but you're dating this person because you see that they are on the same page as you are and want a certain amount of success in life, or want to do certain things, or want to be on the same level that you are. Right. So it's okay. I'm not saying that you should immediately, as soon as I meet you, that I'm immediately going to move you out your house and put you in a bigger house. Hell no. We don't do that. I'm going to let you stay where you stay for a long time, and if I see like, text alert. It might be, because you know how we get down. But my whole thing, while you're checking, my whole thing is just understanding the fact that you can't compare a mentality with the situation. And I want people to really understand that there is such a major difference between situations and mentality.
That's true.
Completely. Okay.
Because somebody can have a certain mentality that doesn't coincide with the situation that they're in.
Right. Okay, so number two. Number two says they don't talk about their ex at all. Okay, so what do you think? Okay, so what do you think about the not talking about your ex at all?
I don't think that means that they're hung up on them. It could be. I really don't want to think about that person.
So is that kind of conversation healthy? I mean, do you think having a conversation? Because to me, I
think having a conversation once, you know, early on, but you don't even have to go that far in depth unless you feel the need to let it all out.
I don't want to talk about my exes.
That's fine. I don't think that not talking about an ex is a bad thing. I don't think that it means that
ladies, for those of you who are listening, I will tell you this.
I'm not talking about my ex.
No, exactly, ladies. If you're listening, I will tell you this. When I'm done with you, I don't talk about you.
I don't talk to you.
The only ex I ever talk about is my daughter's mother.
Because you have to talk.
Because I have to, because that's my situation. But see, soon I want to do that, my daughter might be 18. Yeah. Shout out to you, baby. I love you. All right, so number 3, online stalking.
But I don't like when, and that is something that people do. Why are you all on my page? We're not together no more.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. Take them off. My thing is that if you don't want access to them,
my ex,
unfriend them. Unfriend them.
At all.
Like, you know what I mean? Just unfollow them.
It's
like,
I
think, you know what I do? You know what? This is one thing I think women do, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of women, when they move on completely from their ex, there's a certain part of them that wants their ex to know that they are completely over them.
Men do that too.
We don't do that.
Men do. Oh, really?
We don't do that.
Oh, really?
We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Once it's done,
You do. Not you specifically, but there are men that do it. They'll send an inbox message. Oh, so we talked to that just now?
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Yes.
Or do it through a status. They'll subtweet and subpost and everything. So subliminal posts and saying,
are you serious right now?
Or they'll sit there and they'll friend your friends and stuff like that and try to see what's going on.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, they do. Oh, we gotta come in from now.
Okay, so I have an ex who will remain nameless.
Okay.
And we have children together.
Okay.
But and outside of, I mean, we have an okay relationship as parents. But tell me why on Facebook he tags himself on my pictures that don't have a thing to do with the family, the children, or whatever. I have my model photos. He's clicking his name on it. What the hell is that?
That is the most ridiculous.